ready to go?
I'm ready to go. Let's do this thing.
All right, here we go. Welcome to the Business of Human Flourishing, brought to you by Advaita Ventures. I'm Tripp Johnson, the host of the Business of Human Flourishing pod and a serial social entrepreneur. I'm passionate about using business and entrepreneurship to increase well-being. Throughout this podcast, we're going to explore the trials, tribulations, and triumphs of the human experience and how we can work together to create a better world. If you're a leader in healthcare, education, technology, or business, this podcast is for you. We're going to take a look at how we can thrive personally and professionally while not taking ourselves too seriously. I'm an extremely excitable only child who surprisingly didn't get kicked out of West Point. My unbridled curiosity was the impetus for the launching of the Business of Human Flourishing.
Yeah, and I'm Michael O'Sullivan, the co-host of the Business of Human Flourishing pod. I'm a Duke MBA student who's worked with Tripp for the past 4 years, and it's my job on this podcast to keep him firmly on the ground. Doesn't get too far ahead of himself. Through the podcast, we're going to explore the intersection of economy, healthcare, education, and business, and how that impacts our lives. I have an intense fear of spiders, and I am prone to long, incoherent analogies.
Which I'm going to help you avoid, I hope.
Yes, please do. Interject. Keep me from boring our audience. So really excited to begin this journey with you and want to kick things off with a little bit of background on how we got here and who we are. So, Tripp, you want to take it away?
Sure. So I grew up playing a lot of tennis, ended up being recruited to play at West Point. Played there for 4 years. Barely made it through West Point. I was a little bit of a wild child, you could say, and didn't set the actual record for the most demerits or hours walked, which I'm sure we'll get into at some point, but I came close, and it was one of my friends who beat me. So I was an infantry officer. I was commissioned into the infantry, went through Ranger School, and deployed once to Afghanistan. When I came back from that deployment, I got really into yoga and meditation as a way to increase my own well-being and just live more at ease with the world. I still didn't know what I wanted to do when I grew up, so I went to law school. I did about a year and a half of law school before quitting to help co-found Greenhill, which was my first endeavor in entrepreneurship, and I absolutely loved it. Everything, all the great stuff from the Army about leading a team and, really working with purpose-driven people. I got to do that in the private sector. I've absolutely loved that. And throughout my time as a leader of a healthcare organization, I became increasingly fascinated with this idea of human flourishing. I think it's what we're all going after, and I think that that's what really drew me to the recovery space in the first place was based on my own personal journey, wanting to help others kind of get out of their own way, get unstuck, and reach their full potential. And that's what we get to do at Greenhill. It's been a lot of fun, and now I am focused on integrating a new medical company that we've started into the fold. And overall, though, I think it's just this real curiosity about how can we live our best lives and how do we help others once we've achieved some amount of flourishing ourselves? How do we help others along that path? So I'm super excited to be a part of this podcast. And Michael, you can take it away.
Sure thing. I'm Michael. I've been in North Carolina for 8 years now. I came down to study at Duke. And when I was in my first year, I entered recovery. And I've been involved in that community ever since. And that's how I came into contact with Tripp when he was starting the healthcare company he mentioned. He was bringing people on board, and I was one of the first people to join into the company. They were doing really cool things with education and healthcare, and I felt really attached to that given my background. So I jumped in and went along for the ride. And as with any startup, you're putting on a bunch of different hats along the way. And I knew that I wanted to get more skills and grow in the company a little bit. So initially my thought was to go to law school, and I was about to start at law school. And then I realized, this is not really what excites me. I'd rather be building businesses and taking action instead of, being in conflict and paperwork all day. So I decided to nix that and go to business school instead. So I'll be officially starting this fall at Fuqua and getting a little more of that formal training and background. But with this podcast, I'm really hoping to kind of drill down into the things that I've come across for the first time in my professional career, working with Tripp in the startup world and entrepreneurship and in healthcare, because there's so much exciting stuff going on, so much to talk about, that I'm just really, really excited to share it with you guys. And hopefully from you guys, you don't let me take myself too seriously.
I will make sure that you don't. Well, now that you know a little bit about us and the Business of Human Flourishing podcast, we hope you'll join us for our meandering journey. Next week, we'll have an exploration of for-profit healthcare, and we hope to see you there.
Yeah. And meandering is the word of the day.
Oh, word of the day.
We'll see you next time.